Welcome to my Valheim Pack Mule series. I created a mod which basically requires me to be a pack mule because I'm not allowed to store any items. Anything I want to keep has to stay in my inventory at all times. I was excited to show my wife my first mod, but since she's never played Valheim, I decided to take her along for an entire playthrough. Join us as I play through all of Valheim with only the gear on my back. Alright, so the last episode I started spending some more time trying to find some Sealbreaker fragments, and it's taken forever to get those, and I hate it, and it sucks.
So we're in a really good place emotionally.
Yeah, so this episode is cut from like 4 hours of footage. All the other episodes have been a single hour cut down. And so this video is getting all the Sealbreaker fragments and finding the queen. I spent like an hour.
He spent 4 hours a minimum.
That's what the entire video is 4 hours. The first hour, I was still just trying to do the normal searching through the Mistlands, finding stuff. But I'm still sitting at 2 Sealbreaker fragments. Oh, look, here's a random y'all I wanted to show. Killing with a crossbow, because this is fun. Anyways, 2 Sealbreaker fragments for like 4 or 5 dungeons that I've done so far, which is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So the first part of this episode, I'm still just continuing to search, trying to find more dungeons.
Because you recorded it before.
Yeah, because there was also people gave some responses, and so at least using print seeds and stuff, and maybe looking at the map to try to find these dungeons.
So right now,
still I'm not using print seeds. I'm not looking at the map.
You're just wandering.
Yeah, I found another dungeon, and I fell off the freaking side. I don't understand how that happened. How I slipped and I got hit for like 80 damage. This is the thing I told you about fall damage is it maxes out at 100, but it gets to that maximum damage surprisingly quickly.
Oh no.
Anyways,
so you have to walk all the way back over there?
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm back over here. If a lot of this video is going to be sped up.
Yeah.
So if
I assumed
you or anybody is following along, it's a lot easier to follow where I'm going, just watching the mini map as I'm moving through, and you can see it. Because a lot of it is going to be sped up. But yeah, so I'm back. Because this is a new dungeon.
I think you already spoiled, though, that you're not going to find much in this dungeon.
Did I?
Yeah, well, I mean, you said at the end of this hour of play that you were only at like 2, and I'm pretty sure you were at 2 already.
Did I say that?
I mean, that is what you said. Whether or not you were lying...
Oh, I didn't think that I said that. I thought I said that.
No, you said at the end of this hour you were at 2 seal breakers.
I thought I was saying that's where I was so far.
Okay, well,
I could be wrong.
It wasn't clear if that's what you meant.
Okay. Well, anyways, here's another dungeon.
That we probably seems like might actually find some seal breakers.
We'll see. This is sped up, as most of this video is going to be. It's just like the different sections are sped up in different amounts. So when it's all the random crap like, oh, I'm going to collect materials for another portal for the 27th time, it's sped up like 20 times. And then inside the dungeon itself is sped up like 5 times. Going through the Mistlands is sped up like 10 times.
Got it.
So ideally, you can still kind of follow along with the important things, which I also still slow it down for anything I want to point out, like randomly killing the gull because that's fun. Here's more of these underground areas that I'm still not finding any Vegvasirs. I'm having a great time.
It sounds like it.
I'm trying to upkeep with potions and stuff as I'm doing this. I have a lot of seeker meat and Askspin meat, which is the most of the stuff I'm basically using that in cloudberries right now. So I'm pretty good on food, and I'm trying to keep up with potions. But
In a normal game, do you spend more time at your base than you have this game?
normally, probably. I mean, I normally spend a lot more time base building because it's nice to be able to make areas. And like if I'm gonna go farm, it's nice to have a farm and I can just harvest, onions when I get them and store them and whatever. Like it's nice to be able to do a lot of that stuff, and then build fun things with them, I guess.
Okay.
So I feel like normally it would be, but yeah, 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 I'm searching through this area that's connected right next to a mountain, and so it's hard to traverse for many reasons.
Did you find any in that last dungeon?
Nope. Zero.
Wow.
Zero fun,
So
sir.
it seems like early predictions were the right ones.
Yeah. I found a random frost cave up on this mountain that was in the middle of these Mistlands, and I thought, why not just... I'm having a really annoying time just trying to find dungeons in the Mistlands. Let me just see if I can gather enough material. If I get enough, I can make, like, these claws. But you need, like, 10... like, these claw weapons. You need, like, 10 of these Fenris... I think they're Fenris claws? Yeah. You need like 10 of them. And so I was just kind of clearing this out because this was fun and I wanted to do it.
It's just change of pace, you know?
Yeah. And, if I just happen to get enough to make claws, I would do that. That one did not give me enough. And now I'm heading around. I did not find another cave. So.
Is the current armor you're wearing, does that keep you warm in the mountains?
The cape does.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, a lot of the capes end up having cold resist.
Okay.
Like after you get to the mountains, I think all of them I feel like all of them after the mountains give you cold resist.
So you can just go back to the mountains anytime.
Yeah. It's weird. Anyways, so about here, this is where I'm searching between mountains and plains, trying to find stuff in this Mistlands, making very slow progress. And this is about where the first hour comes to an end.
Okay.
So at this point, I decide I'm at least going to use the print seeds.
Okay.
Because
is that going to be noticeable for us, or is that
Yeah.
just okay?
So you'll kind of see what it does in just a second here.
Anyway,
So-
I think you were doing an explanation and I cut you off of why you were using this.
I don't know. So here's what you do. You literally just type out /print seeds, and it'll tell you, oh, there's a burger, whatever. They have weird names, right? The Clone Fortress, whatever they're called in the code. It tells you, oh, there's one of those, and it's like 180 meters away.
Does it tell you what direction?
No. You just kind of have to. You do it. You move a little bit. You do it. You can see if you're getting closer.
Got it.
So there's one that's within, a couple hundred, and it's the one that I had already been to. So at this point, I've been wandering around for the past hour, probably an hour, a half hour, trying to find more dungeons here. So I just killed myself because I don't want to waste my portal materials since I can't pick them back up. That's annoying. Anyways, yeah, so I'm trying to find where to go looking for Mistland, like where in the Mistlands to go looking next for more dungeons. Right now I'm just looking around at my starter area, but so I have a couple areas, right? This main area over to the left where I fought Motor, where I fought Yagluth. Like there's that big Mistlands area there.
And you've checked it, or you haven't checked it?
I've checked it some. That's the one where I ran into the random 2-star seeker that I finally put a portal down. That was like the first hour-long episode that was just trekking through the Mistlands forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the Mistlands down here, which is where I initially went. That's real close to the Ashlands. So like, there's these two areas that have big chunks of Mistlands for me to go to.
So you're gonna go to one of those?
Yeah. And I think I go to the south spot by the Ashlands first, because this is a. I also want to go to the boat eventually, and I can use the boat to sail around to some more Mistlands if I need to. But I am finding. Let's see. Yeah, so this is a new one that I found using the print seeds just now. That's very close to by where I was. This dot on the minimap is where my boat was, and so this area was when I made like the little raft and came down there. So I've been very close by this. I just did not see it the first time. So here is a dungeon. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and ideally you're gonna find some fun things in here.
Ideally.
How many do you need?
9.
Oh, well, it's gonna take you at least another roughly 22 minutes to get those. That's gonna be my guess.
Yeah. I will have them in 22 minutes at the most.
Exciting times.
Yeah, I keep running into more of these areas that have, the weird little areas that are sunken down with the water at the bottom that should have the Vegasiers that just don't. So that's always fun. Still don't know where the queen is.
Will the print seeds thing tell you where the queen is?
If you're close, but it only works for anything within a couple hundred meters.
Okay.
Which is not that big of an area on the map.
Right, so the queen is, there's dungeons more frequently throughout the map, so that's why you can find those easier than, the queen.
Yeah. Here's a little area that looks like this would normally have, a seal breaker fragment. So I'm coming in here to kill this seeker soldier to try to find it,
And spoiler alert, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No way.
Not belabor the point. Anyways, what were you saying?
I don't know. Oh, I think I was just going to make a comment that now, as we know, there are multiple queens throughout the map, even though that was not clear from the beginning.
There are all the bosses. There's between 3 and 5 different spawn points. But so even then, obviously the map is gigantic and there's 3 spots. It's just still going to be hard to randomly find the queen.
Is there 3 even for the Ashlands? Because the Ashlands is much more contained.
It is, yeah, but there's still at least 3.
Okay.
Because it still is a fairly big size. Size.
Part of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be interested in seeing a fully exposed map.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe we could probably do that when we do the live show. when we're sitting here looking at it.
It'll be live with us, not
live with us
on the tube.
I'll look at the map though. While I'm in the Mistlands, I got some more potion stuff for the jumpy potions, the jumpy jumps. I'm trying to keep up with those. I have 1 of the running potions left, which is not as important as the Mistlands, as the jumping one. So that's not horrible. Okay, so
So that's your boat?
Yeah, I made my way back over to that boat that I originally left off. We saw in that other episode.
Whoa, that it was still there.
Throwback.
If anybody's counting the boat counter, that one didn't die.
Yeah, so I'm now heading up. When I was originally sailing down to the Ashlands, I took note of a spot that I marked on the map that has a couple of Verger docks that you can see. They do occasionally pop up on the map. We'll see. So I'm trying to head up here because these should ideally be bigger sections of Mistlands and new sections of Mistlands to look into. I'm sailing into the mist, and I think better of it and sail out. But the reason I don't want to go sailing in the midst of all that stuff is because Gulls can just spawn right there.
Yeah, as one just has.
Thankfully, he's fighting the Dverger on that dock over there. And look at this. I help him take him out. There you go, buddies.
So that is Mistlands, even though it's not covered in mist.
Yeah.
Oh, that's odd.
Not the entire Mistlands is not covered in mist, but most of it is.
I think I did know that.
Yeah. Here's another. So here's one of the docks that I had marked when I was sailing down originally, and so I'm parking here to try to go and check out this section.
The Divergers have docks just because they're nice, or
What do you mean they have them because they're nice?
Well, because they're like helpful little people. Is that why they have docks, or is there?
Well, they live there. Are you talking about like lore wise?
I just don't. Yeah, I guess it's just odd that there's just like randomly these docks in the game, but I mean they have their little fortresses, so I guess it's just along that same line.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be their homelands.
The Mistlands.
Yeah.
And then also kind of the Ashlands.
Well, the Ashlands I don't know exactly what's up with that because there obviously are there some, but that's not their home.
Okay. Once again, you're not helpful with the lore of this game. It's okay. I forgive you. I'll have to read up on it before the final episode. Or don't. That's fine.
Okay, so I just spent a bit of time just running around using print seeds, and I could not find any dungeons in that whole area that I was just running around. So I did put a portal down there, and there is more area over there I'm going to go check out, but...
Is this the end of another hour?
Something like that.
Okay.
Because I wasn't necessarily breaking them up into specifically hour chunks, but that was a different play session, and now this is next time getting back on here.
Okay.
So
back at it.
Not even no Sealbreaker fragments, no dungeons from this big section.
Well, wouldn't you rather spend the few minutes not finding a dungeon?
Watch this.
Okay.
So I just wanted to note this. Sorry, come back to your thought in just a second. But I accidentally fell in this, and I cannot get out. And thank goodness. I mean, obviously, also I'm playing where I keep my stuff if I die. But thank goodness I have my pickaxe, because otherwise I would literally be trapped in here. I accidentally jumped into the mouth of the skull. Anyways.
Yeah, that's kind of horrifying.
Yeah. All right. Anyways.
I think I was just saying that it's probably better though to not find a dungeon than to have to clear out 4 dungeons with no.
Yeah, I would rather probably not find one than find one that has nothing in it.
The disappointment. You've already been disappointed so much.
It's been very frustrating.
Was that Lore or Queen? What's her name?
Lore. One of those random rune stones.
Is that the boss?
So,
oh.
No, so this is just another time I've explored this entire area and I cannot find any dungeons, so I kill myself as opposed to making another. I don't even know if I had the materials on me to make a portal. But yeah, this also randomly pops up where you'll just see me running back through here.
To get the stuff to make portals?
Yep. And I was gonna
killed it.
Yeah, I was gonna slow that spot down, but yeah, that's annoying. Because also I do have to keep running back to get more great orifice for portals. But I have this other spot that I was kind of using before. By portal number 10, if you know. Jeez. It's a different Black Forest spot that I got to earlier, right after the swamp. And it has a spawner relatively close. So I'm using that to get my great orifice now. I ran and got some more stuff from some dungeons to sell, so I can get more of these, so I can make more of the running potions, because I have 1 left. So I'm gonna grab some of those.
Did you just accidentally hit the spawner, or how did you kill it?
Yeah, accidentally, because I assume it probably doesn't regenerate, and every once in a while I accidentally smack it.
Oh, so then you just did too much.
Yeah, because I've killed so many right by there that now it finally died. Okay, so after this session, I decided to just look at the map, and they have a thing so you can upload your thing. It's a little bit weird because since I've been playing from before Bogwitch Update and after, the map is unique. And then it doesn't just work off a seed because there was stuff that loaded before and then after. But you can just upload the file and look at it. So
I was wondering about that. So you keep going and then I'll ask a question.
So yeah, so you just have to upload your world save basically, and then it can pull up a map and show you where everything is at on the map.
Okay.
So it'll populate so you can look at there's dungeons and all these spots. I mean, first of all, you can see the entire world, and then you can see these are the dungeons that show up in the Mistlands. Here's all the boss spawns everywhere. Like, basically anything that you would want to know, you can look up. So I found the queen on there, obviously, because I'm looking at it. And it's like there's a queen, and there's a dungeon. There's a single dungeon next to the queen, and the dungeon that's next to the queen has a whole bunch of Sealbreaker fragments.
Do you know that for sure, or are you spoiler alerting?
I know it from looking at the map on there.
Okay, so
Like,
the map tells you.
Yeah, like so it'll show you where dungeons are, what type they are, and what of note is them. Like how many black cores are in them.
Oh.
How many Sealbreaker
Well,
fragments.
that seems crazy.
Yeah, and it's hilarious looking at it, and it's like all these ones I looked at, it's 0 or 1 Sealbreaker fragments, and these like it's got to be 6 or 7 dungeons that I went through. I picked this one to go look for because it had a few. There wasn't enough to get all the ones I needed from a single dungeon somewhere. But this one had a few, so I went over to here on the map, and I'm getting the few from this one.
It seems like, first of all, crazy that it tells you what's in the dungeons.
Yeah. Here's one.
Nice. When you're playing the game normal, is it like tempting to just like look up a map? Or not really?
I mean, depending on what you're doing when you're playing. Like this, I feel like the Mistlands is the only time I ever really feel it because it's so annoying. But also then, if you're playing long enough, unless you're trying to rush through and killing everything, it's like you just kind of play and explore and
gather
get down
stuff.
portals and you do all that stuff, and it takes long enough that like you just kind of gather all the fragments as you
do it.
are doing other stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
How many times have you looked up maps when playing the game? Like in a playthrough, how many of your playthroughs?
In a normal playthrough?
Yeah. Would you say you've looked up a map?
Well, I'd have to think about that. The first one, the first one I think I probably also did it when I was trying to find the queen. There's one I was doing that was no map that I did it when I was trying to find the queen because it's freaking ridiculous. On top of having to try to find dungeons and figure out where it's pointing with the Vegasphere to then try to like navigate that with no map. So that's kind of the point I gave up on that.
Oh, you were like playing without the like little map in the corner there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No map, no portals, and yeah, once I got to the Mistlands, it was like it's too much. I can't do that. Or that was just gonna take way too much time. I'm making some bread, so I have some better food than cloudberries. Exciting.
Nice.
Anyways, but yeah, so then I've also used it when they had like a competition, Trial of Tier, where it's like you're supposed to beat the game on this set seed as fast as you can on hard difficulty, I think it was, whatever it was. But that was a specific thing where it's like you kind of map out where everything is at and try to figure out a good route to go to how you're going to do it as fast as possible.
That was kind of approved.
Yeah.
But have you also played through it where you've not looked up a map?
I don't know if I played through the entire way. That's a good question. But yeah, it also just is like, I don't know, it once I almost ran around there, it just gets to the point where I just don't care enough. And again, it's normally like once I get super late in the game, but I don't know.
In the Mistlands because they're annoying.
Yeah, but also it kind of just depends on what you're playing for, I guess, because sometimes that's something that's, you don't want to do to screw up the fun of the game, but there's a serpent.
Some people do.
So what is currently happening as I'm sailing here is I'm sailing over towards the queen. So this is a good, 20 minutes of sailing.
Is that serpent gonna attack your ship?
Yeah, but it's just a little serpent.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I slowed down so I could kill it because this is another thing. I'm just like, well, I see the serpent. I'm gonna kill him, and just so I can get some food. because the serpent is nice, easy food to make.
Even though it's kind of stormy, you'll be okay.
Yeah. And it
Well,
calmed down finally.
it did
My
calm
gosh,
down, yeah.
it is so annoying. That entire thing I was trying to sail through, and your visibility is so limited. And it's really annoying trying to sail like that. Anyways. But yeah, so I got serpent meat now. The serpent meat, as opposed to the bone maw meat, is nice because you can just make it into stew, and it's very light.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that at some point.
Yeah, at some point you told me it was great.
Yeah, and because it's also obviously very good. It's very light. It's nice.
At some point you were telling me something, not in this game, in our real normal life, about space saving regarding a comment. Is that relevant yet?
Oh yeah, I can talk about that. First, look at this. Look at this freaking structure over in the Mistlands.
That real tall thing?
Yeah, I want to go check that out. I'm gonna go check that out at some point.
That's wild.
Because I don't know what that is. Like, it seems like it's just some weird, randomly generated structure. I have no idea what that is.
Did you mark it?
No, but no. I'll be able to find it. I know where it's at. It's up here.
It's
in my
in.
brain.
With your notoriously incredible memory.
It's selectively incredible.
It is. That's true. And that's what I've been telling you for years.
Oh, jeez. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I might as well mention that right now. Yeah, somebody made a comment. I have 3 bell fragments, so I could turn that into a bell and set the bell down at where I'm going to fight Vader. And that seems like a good idea, and I might end up doing that. I don't know yet, because right now it's like I'm sailing around just trying to get seal breaker fragments and bell fragments, and so it doesn't seem super important right now to actually save one more space.
Oh, look at Troll. That's a throwback.
I know, old time's sake, I just wanted to...
3 hits. And
2
he's
hits.
Dead. 2 hits and he's dead.
Because it was the stagger and then the shield blocks.
Okay. Anyway, that's fair. I just didn't know if you'd already done it or...
I have not done that yet, and I'm still debating whether or not I want to. You can see them in there still. Because again, I don't know. It is still annoying, a little bit annoying to work with the space, but generally it's fine at this point now that I have all my armor and stuff.
Well, I mean, it would be helpful if you needed limited space or extra space for a limited time, because ultimately if you're gathering them, like you are going to have to use another space. I'm not maybe being super clear, but like you set a bell down and then you go to find more fragments. Like right now they'll all just stack on top of each other.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, yeah, once I'm starting to find more bell fragments, it's not going to help.
Right, but I guess if you did, like, while you're going around the Mistlands, it would be nice if you had thought about it while you were in the Ashlands to have the extra space.
Yeah.
When you're not, like, actively looking for more bells. But I get that since you're not in the Ashlands and you're just kind of, like, out here already roaming, that you don't want to take the time to necessarily go do it right off the bat.
Well, mostly because I was thinking it's going to take me 20 minutes just to make the trek.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Right, so, like, if you thought about it when you were right there.
Yeah.
But it's a good thought.
Yeah. I'm sailed over. I'm on the island now with the queen. For the record, I have still not found a Vegvasir to point to the queen. This is retarded. Here's the entrance to the dungeon. That's right by the queen. That's going to have the rest of the fragments I need. And here is the entrance for the queen. So I have slowed this down so you can take a look at this because it's fun. But there's always seekers you got to kill in these places. I think none of them are 1 star or 2 star. So it makes it a lot easier.
Are they frequently 1 or 2 stars?
I don't know. I assume it's completely random and it's not that high of a chance, but so anyways, it's just a fun area. It's funny if you run up and read this. We sealed the door and scattered the key. Leave her be. That's fun. Anyways, it's the workers supposed to have done that. That's a slight bit of lore I do know.
Oh, the Divergers like locked the queen away because they don't want her being terrible.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna let her out.
Well, just kill her.
They've done a great job of scattering the keys here.
Yeah. They're nowhere to be found. Jeez. There's this little area underneath that is blocked by like a little wooden panel. For anybody who has not heard of this, I feel like this is a very common knowledge thing at this point. But you break open a little wooden panel in the staircase, and there's this little, very safe area down here that you can kind of hole up in, make a mini base.
Why do you want to hole up in that area?
Well, if you need to restock during a fight, or you die, or whatever, you need to come back. It's a very safe area to be able to portal back into.
Got it. Fair.
Also, just notice how there's 3 freaking seal breaker fragments right in the entryway. Why is this the only dungeon like this? There's 3 of them right here.
When you were looking, do a lot of like, were the only dungeons with like no seal breakers the ones you went into, or were there a lot of other dungeons with like no seal breakers?
I don't know. There weren't a lot of other ones in the areas I was looking in, because I did find most of them in the areas I was looking. But like there was the one that had 3 that I ended up going to at the start of this section, right? And then I don't know. I didn't look at ones outside of the areas that I went to, and all the ones I went in had 0 or 1.
Well, we'll look at the end.
And then there was I don't know, some other random sections next to the queen. There were a few that I saw in passing that had like 6 or 7 seal breaker fragments.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, am I at 9 yet? I think I am at 9.
Okay, you're not finding the queen, right? Yeah, it looks like we're getting toward the end here.
So this is not this episode. So here's the thing.
Don't spoil it. Are you gonna try it, or are you gonna tell me?
So I come back here because I have the fragments now.
Okay.
And I think, I got 9 out of 9. Top it up, got some Ratatosk potions again. So I'm coming back to make the seal breaker fragment, which I assume is done in the Black Forge. Have not really thought about it, have not checked. But okay, it's not in the Black Forge, it's not there. It's also not in the normal Forge. So this is, as you notice, there's the bell, right, to craft. So this is just severe oversight on my part. If anybody's sitting there thinking, how the heck is he crafting this, as you're watching this episode, I need the Galder table, which is like the magic table. And the whole point of this was that I was going to
do a magic-free run.
Yeah, and avoid having to do any of that stuff. So at this point, I will have to end up making that most likely. So, because my options are either making that, or there is a way to break into the queen area that you don't even need seal breaker fragments or seal breaker.
All of this for nothing.
I know. So realistically, I'm probably gonna just make the table. It's not gonna be a ton of work since I already have everything going, and I can find more black cores and dungeons I've already cleared out and stuff. So
I
don't know. It's not the end of the world, but that's what's gonna be next.